How to tell if a girl likes you over text. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to tell if a girl likes you over text. So the first thing that I want to talk about and discuss, because it's really important, and that is when you're texting a girl and they're texting you and you're having a conversation, there can be miscommunication. And with miscommunication, there can be a lot of problems. So one of the big things that could happen with miscommunication is she may say one thing and you might think it means something else. Or you might say something and she might read into it and see it as something else. So really, you shouldn't be messaging too much when you are dating someone or you are wanting to date someone. The best way to communicate with someone is face to face. And the reason why this is because you can tell by their body language, by the way they are saying things, how they are feeling in that moment. It's very hard to read what somebody is thinking and feeling over messaging. So please keep that in mind when you are trying to decipher the messages she is sending you. So for example, you might be someone who loves using punctuation. So at the end of a message, you put a full stop. Someone else might see that as you being abrupt or cold, or she might do that and you might see it as her being abrupt or cold, when really she's just really into grammar. Okay, so you can see how these things can easily get miscommunicated. So with that being said, let's get into the first point. So the first way to tell if a girl likes you over text message is they give you more than just a one-worded response. So if she just says okay or K full stop, or I'm good thanks. So if you say hi, hey, how are you? And she just says I'm okay thanks, but doesn't say how are you, that's a sign that this girl isn't interested. So if she is interested, she will be like, when you say hey, how are you, she will say I'm okay thanks, how are you? And you're like, oh, I'm well, what are you up to? And she'll be like, oh, I've been up to this, what have you been up to? But if she's just like, okay, I've not been up to much, doesn't really ask you any questions, that's a sign she's not interested. But if she is and she's asking about you, she's asking about your day, wants to know what you've been up to, keeps the conversation going basically, that means she likes you. But if she's trying to make it stop and if she's being abrupt, that is a sign that she's probably not that interested in you. The next way to tell if a girl likes you over text is she initiates contact. So you're not the one to always send hey, how are you? Sometimes she sends you, hey, how are you? Or she asks you a question, or she just sends you something. Like she might send you a picture or something. That's her initiating contact whenever she reaches out to you. However, things like liking a social media post isn't initiating contact. If she likes one of your photos or something that you post, that doesn't necessarily mean it's time for you to reach out to her and send her a message and say, hey, how are you? Her commenting and her liking your posts is not initiating contact. Initiating contact is when she sends you a direct message or a phone call or an email. The next way to tell if a girl likes you over text is how long it takes for her to respond to your messages. So if she replies within 48 hours, that's a sign that she likes you, that she's interested. But also make sure that the messages she is sending you isn't just one-worded responses, like I said in the first point. So she replies to you within 48 hours or sooner. She might reply to you within an hour. It all depends on how, she might be really busy. If she doesn't reply for 48 hours but still replies, and her replies are long and she's asking you things as well, that's a good sign. She might just have been busy for those 48 hours. So she might have just had, been studying, or she was at work, or she was just really tired. But as long as she responds within those 48 hours, it's a good sign. Now, obviously, the sooner she replies, the better, the more interested in you she is. So if she replies to you within 1 hour or 3 hours, that's a really good sign. Perhaps sometimes it's good to pay attention to how long it takes her to respond. So let's say if you respond to her within an hour and she responds to you within an hour as well. So she might be matching and mirroring how you respond. So if you send her a message, so if she sends you a message and you reply exactly an hour and then you send her one and she replies exactly an hour, then that's actually a sign of interest, because she's trying to not reply to you too soon, so she puts you off. She wants to give you a bit of space and a bit of a gap to think about her. However, try not to read into it too much, because doing something like that could become very obsessive. But it might be just something that you notice. You might just, be scrolling through the messages and see that the timestamps just portray that. But try not to read into it too much. But if she responds within 48 hours and those responses are long, and they're wanting to keep the conversation going, then that's a really good sign. So another way to tell if a girl likes you over text is she sends you links to stuff, or she sends you memes or GIFs or images, things to make conversation happen. So these things could also be related to like an inside joke that both of you have. So let's say that you were discussing Lord of the Rings or something, and then later on she might send you a meme with like Aragorn or something in it. If she's sending you those kinds of things to make you laugh and stuff, then that's really good. That's a really good sign that she likes you. However, you need to also keep and pay attention to the fact of what the context is, because she might be just sending you an image, or she might be sending you a GIF to end the conversation. So pay attention to the context of the GIF, to the message and that kind of thing. So be very wary of that. But if she's sending you links to stuff, things like memes, things that are making conversation happen, that's a really good sign. Another way to tell if a girl likes you over text, but it's not, it's not set in stone, is she might send you emojis. So if she's saying, hey, how are you? She'll probably put a few smiley faces after that. She'll be using those things to express emotion. She might send you hearts, that kind of stuff. However, again, you need to take and pay close attention to the context. So she might just send you a smiley face to end a conversation, so she doesn't have to continue the conversation. You need to pay attention to that. But if she's sending, you long messages, and she's trying to keep the conversation going, and in there is sprinkled a few emojis, then that's a really good sign. However, some girls don't like to use emojis. Some girls really like to just use proper grammar and not use emojis. So don't take the fact that she's not using emojis as a sign that she doesn't like you. As long as she's trying to keep the conversation going, and she initiates contact, and she doesn't just use one-worded responses, that's a really good sign that she likes you. And those are some tips on how to tell if a girl likes you over text. If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you'd like help with me personally, because obviously these videos are very generalized, then go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop to get coaching with me. Alternatively, you can just send me a quick email using the email address provided in this video's description box, and we can talk and discuss something that way. And I shall talk to you again very soon.